Yes, people, so welcome back to the channel. Both of us are here. It's basically the end of December right now. It's not quite the end, it's actually Boxing Day. But we're going to spend this whole video speaking about all of our biggest lessons that we learned in 2024 from a whole year of moving forward, pushing the needle, always taking one step in front of the other. So we can go over our biggest lessons, and then after that we're going to go through our goal setting process and our goals for 2025 to show you exactly what we'll be looking to achieve next year.
So we don't really want to waste your time, we're just going to get straight into it. So the first lesson is that you really need to have a clear vision so that you know exactly where you're headed. So throughout the year, we learned this many times. One of the biggest times we actually learned this was in April. So we had a goal for ourselves that would hit 10K in 1 month. This was a goal that's been in our heads for a while now, for a few years actually. And finally in April we hit it. But the best thing about when we hit it is we literally already knew we'd hit it. Like, it was in our head. We'd visualized it, we'd seen ourselves, and we knew we were going to do it as well. We'd tell ourselves every day we were going to do it. We were 100% sure of the fact that we'd do it, and that's because every single thing we did was to make that happen. And then eventually in April it happened, and obviously we're very, very proud of that, and genuinely couldn't ask for anything more, literally. So the main thing we learned from that is literally set your lessons, set your goals, and go straight into them, all guns blazing.
Yes, that's what we've learned from literally the most successful people that we've spoken to. So we always make sure that on like a quarterly basis, or as much as we possibly can, we spend money to sit in rooms with people who make a lot more money than we do, so we can learn exactly how to basically how to keep going. So like the roadmap, you could say. And the biggest goal that we learned this year is like the power of envisioning your future. So every single person that you've seen us achieve something successful, such as in football, if someone scores a free kick, right, or they score a certain amount of free kicks, or for instance in business where someone's on stage and they're absolutely smashing it, they're crushing a presentation, or they crushed out a huge monthly milestone, they get themselves a beautiful car. Chances are people that do amazing things, they do it on purpose. Like they set a goal and they get it done. These amazing things do not happen by accident, and one of the biggest crucial aspects of actually getting them sorted is, but at first you need to envision it. You need to see yourself doing it. You need to feel it inside. You need to make sure that you know, if you want a certain car, know what it feels like to press that button and to feel the car switch on. Know what the interior of the car is like. Know exactly what spec you want. Be very specific about your goals, and the more specific your vision is, definitely the more likely you are to actually hit it.
Because genuinely, when you have a target like that in mind, you'll be so motivated. You need a reason for your discipline. Discipline is hard, and not everyone's going to be disciplined. The only way you can actually ensure that you are disciplined, that you're going to get out of bed every single day and make the exact choices you need to do to get that goal to happen, is only if you have a goal. If you don't have a goal, simple as being disciplined is just so hard.
Literally, if you don't have a clear vision, how will you know what inputs to put in? You won't know. You literally need to have that clear idea. Okay, I want X, and then what do I need to do to get X? I need to do Y, and then you do Y over and over again, and then X just happens because it's exactly how you planned it to happen. The second thing that we learned this year, and that we now value quite a bit, is rewarding ourselves. So what we make sure to do is whenever we hit certain business milestones or we get certain achievements, we make sure that we reward ourselves. Okay, so for instance, this year we went on 2 holidays. I know it's not massive, but for us, the first time we ever flew out was like last year. So we haven't grown up from a privileged background. We've decided now that on a minimum basis we're flying out at least 2 times a year, if not more. It's just based on us smashing our achievements. So we flew out twice, went to like Egypt and to Turkey just to enjoy the sun when it necessarily wasn't sunny in the UK. And we also went to Anfield for the first time. So big Liverpool fans. We basically grew up Liverpool fans, so for 20 years, 19 years, whatever, we've wanted to watch Liverpool. We just weren't able to go to the stadium because it's not something that was able to be done for us, I guess. So we took it upon ourselves to go and do it. So for the first time in our lives, we went to Anfield, and 100% moving forward every single year, at least once a season, maybe even twice a season, we will be going, and it's something that we're going to make sure we do just to reward ourselves for achieving it. It makes it more motivating to want to achieve because it means that we get to experience the reward.
100%, and they're the sort of the bigger rewards, but there's also little rewards that you need to sort of do as well. So the first thing you actually need to do is notice the small wins that you're making every single day. If you've set a goal for example, of reading every day, and you stick to that, that should be rewarded. That shouldn't be sort of swept under the rug. And a little example of that is, so I passed my driving test this year, and literally went like something as small as dessert. Went for dessert that day. We don't go for dessert all the time. When we do something, for example, if we get a nice booking, go for dessert, something like that. So it's always good to recognize not only the bigger wins that you make, but also the small wins, because it does keep you motivated and it keeps you going, and it literally just inspires you to just smash your goals and keep going forward.
No, 100%. That's such a big thing, rewarding yourself. Like what he said is it's very important, because it's sort of like, you can see it like how they train dogs, right? Well, how they train dogs is when they do the wrong thing, they punish them. When they do the right thing, they reward them. You should do this for yourself. You are basically in charge of your own success, and the only way that you can facilitate it is, number one, have a big vision, like we said earlier. And number two, make sure you're rewarding yourself when you're doing the right things, because it just incentivizes you to keep going.
So that was the second lesson that we did learn in 2024, and we hope obviously that you can apply it in your own lives as well. And the third lesson that we did learn is that adversity doesn't only build character, it also reveals it. So what this sort of means is that you've gone through a lot in your life without even realizing it, or most people. You've gone through hardships, whether that's even studying in school. If you don't want to study but you force yourself to study, that's something that you don't want to do that you force yourself to do. That's forcing yourself to be in an uncomfortable situation. That's getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Now, one of the main ways that we actually learnt this was early on in this year. One of our properties got trashed, and this was the first time. It was a one-night stay. It was silly, like younger people. They came in. We had faith in them, to be honest. Like, we saw through the camera, we saw them come in. We had our faith. We said, you know what, we'll leave them. They're probably just having fun, probably just coming in and going. But obviously, that was us being silly, and that's another lesson that we did learn, to trust your gut. And then what happened was, obviously they trashed the property. They broke the windows, they left stuff in the toilet, left everything on the floor, everything all over the place. They left like smoking stuff around the property. And obviously that's hard, because we were young. It was not a good time of the year as well. Like, our finances weren't exactly the highest, and we just experienced this. So it was something that would make a lot of people quit. But obviously, because we've racked up a lot of small wins in our life or whatever, we also, and we recognise them. So not only did we rack them, we recognise them as well. It basically allowed us to just, just push through this. So we just, instead of quitting, we made sure to carry on, get better systems in check, make sure we're not that naive again to let people do what they want. And we've absolutely smashed it in sort of the security department. So we're making sure that never ever happens again.
Yeah, 100%. Another thing that we also did this year was go broke, and that sounds crazy, right? So she's speaking about how we've had a great year, but in January we invested in a few new deals. We made sure that we bought new mentors as well, so a lot of cash went out. We also actually went on holiday because my birthday's in January, so that was a straight liability. And because of that, because we invested so heavily, it meant that we had basically no cash. So when you're doing rent to rent like we are, you pay rent out every single month, because we don't own our properties, we rent them from landlords. It came to the end of the month. I looked at my bank, he looked at his bank, looked at the business bank account. We had £300 in total, and we had all this rent to pay. Of course, with God's grace, rent was paid and we didn't have an issue because payments came in and stuff like that. But for quite a long period of time, we were literally broke. We had to live off like our work. We were still working at the time. Our work paychecks were coming into our bank and going straight into the business, into the bank, straight into the business. We weren't able to enjoy and experience this because we paid for mentors. We invested so heavily at the start of the year, but like I said, investing always pays off. We invested, we made sure that those investments made business sense, and now we're in a position where we hopefully never see a bank account like that again.
Yeah.
A big thing that we have learned as well, okay, is that this is number 4, okay, becoming a 10k, 20k, 100k a month person is not even about business. Now that might sound weird to you. What I mean is this: if you want to be, let's say your goal is to hit 10k a month, okay, which was our first ever business goal, right? If you want to hit 10k a month, you probably focus on the business aspect. Oh, what business do I need to do? How do I need to do it? How many hours do I need to work? That's not necessarily important. Focus on the whole thing. 10k people have 10k businesses, but they also have 10k lives. Now, what does that mean? Habits. Are you doing the right things? Are you drinking every weekend? Are you smoking and wasting all your money on weed? If you're doing stuff like that, you're going to limit yourself from being able to hit that 10k, because you literally have, imagine you're walking to get to 10k, imagine you have to go up the stairs, right? Every time you're walking up those steps, you have weights dragging you down. That's those bad habits. Get rid of them. Make sure your load is lighter so you can get up those stairs easier, if that makes sense. For instance, sleeping. Make sure your sleeping's in check. Make sure you're reading every day. Make sure you're visualizing that 10k version of you and thinking, what would they do? What inputs would they follow? And should I go doing them today? Focus on exercising every single day. Your goal, in order to hit 10k, is to become he who earns 10k, and he who earns 10k has a certain life which you don't have right now, because if you did have that life, you would be at 10k, but you're not.
So So simply put, the main thing you need to take from that is that you need to optimize all areas of your life. You can't expect yourself to go all in on business with a fresh mind, clean mind, positive mind if you're surrounded by negative people with negative habits, which is negatively affecting your life.
That's exactly it, to be honest. Even speaking about the people that you're around, the stuff that negatively weigh you down, it's just, there's all these factors that you don't think about which seep into your business, because your business is an extension of you. Your business will never be greater than you. You will always be at that point, your business will be below you. It's like 10% of what you are. So if you have a lifestyle which is breeding absolute waste of time, if you're just wasting your time, your business will be a waste of time as well, and you'll be making no money.
And the fifth lesson that we've learned in 2025, which we believe that everyone should apply to life as well, is that you need to surround yourself by winners. So as already mentioned in this video, we've invested a lot of money and time into basically sitting in the room full of the right people. So sitting in the room is full of people who are making a lot more than us, who have done a lot more in their life, and who are a lot more successful than us. That's the only way you're going to learn. If you're surrounded by people who are less successful than you, have made less money than you, and are just like haven't hit what you've hit sort of thing, you're not going to learn, you're never going to grow, and you're never going to have that motivation to grow as well. If you're already the top of like the hill, why are you going to need to sort of climb higher? You're going to see no reason for that. But if you're surrounded by people who are throwing out numbers like, I've made 100k this month, I've made 200k this month, I've made 50k this month, it's only going to make your head realize that, wow, it's possible, and I need to go and do it myself. I need to be competitive in this environment sort of thing.
No, bang on. I think I 100% agree with everything you said right there. It's just, when you surround yourself with winners, like I'm sure you heard the common quote and you hear it all the time, I know I used to hear it all the time, but be around 4 losers, you become the 5th, be around 5 winners and you become the 6th, right? So, and it's just so true, because what you're going to hear is you're going to hear them having conversations, giving you tip-offs about, oh, that's how you do it. That you're going to see them setting themselves really ambitious goals, and it's going to make you think like, oh, why don't I do that? Like, your time is always going to go by. Time is always going to go by, right? So if you spend your time with winners, it'll allow you to optimize the time that you do have because they've already done it. Like I'm sure you've heard of the quote, only take advice from people who are where you want to be, basically. That the only way that you possibly do that is by surrounding yourself with winners. And surrounding yourself with winners, if you can't pay to get into networking groups, if you can't pay to go into getaways, fine. Nowadays everyone's online anyway, so chances are, if you don't have like loads of friends you're speaking to all the time, the people that you watch most commonly online are probably influencing you and your life. So start to be very particular about who you watch and who you listen to and what advice you take and the inputs that you put in, because that will affect your life so much more than you even imagine.
So that was our 5 lessons that we've learned in 2024, and we hope you guys implement them into your own lives and you learn from this, and you sort of hopefully cause a lot of improvement in your life as well. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go over where we want to be in 2025, some goals that we want to hit, and so hope you enjoy that, and we're just going to speak about that now. So the first thing that we both collectively want to hit is we want to make 20k in 1 month before June 2025. So before half of the year ends, we want to be able to say that we've made 20k from 1 month, and that's a goal that we've had for a while now as well. First it was 10k, after 10k straight away 20k, so that's something that we're excited to hit, and we're sure we'll definitely hit it as long as our inputs are in the right place, and currently we think we do have the correct inputs, and as long as we stay consistent, as long as we just keep doing what we're doing, we're definitely 100% sure that we'll hit it.
Yeah, that's correct, and then that's like the main collective goal really, and then we've got like our own personal goals but some overlap, so it's really confusing when there's 2 of us, but because we live together, run business together, both of our habits tend to like combine basically, and the goals will tend to combine. So yeah, 20k is a big goal, and 100% we will hit it. I'm pretty sure we'll make a video in about 6 months saying that we've hit 20k and that we're aiming to do 50. It's just up and up really for us. Anyway, what I want to say is that now, for myself, I read almost every day this year. I want to say I read 300 out of 365 days, so I almost read every single day. But for me personally, I had to make sure that every single day I'm reading, because why not? You're sitting there having a conversation. You're learning 30 years of knowledge in 300 pages. It's an opportunity that I shouldn't be missing out on. So I'm definitely going to be reading every day. And
for me, reading, I've always hated reading growing up. I'm not too sure why. It was just me. I don't like that idea. Well, I didn't like the idea, sorry, of just sitting down and reading. I prefer like watching or doing sort of thing. But yeah, so I started reading as well this year, pretty much. I've not been that consistent. I've already mentioned that I went way too intense, so the consistency was that I started hating it again. But I've made a guarantee to myself that I will read every single day this year, even if it's 10 pages. 100% every single day I will read, and that's something I'm excited to do because reading, I've learned to sort of enjoy it now because I started doing like less and less every single day, if that makes sense. And yeah, hopefully I can carry that on in 2025. I'm sure I will. I know I will. It's not very hard. It doesn't take that long either. It's just something I can sit down and do.
But yeah, so reading is one big thing, expanding your mind. If you're not learning, you're not earning. So that's about it. We also want to make sure that we have some fitness goals in place. So running minimum 3 times a week is our goal as well. We like to make sure we're running. It helps with your cardio, it helps with your clarity. It's just good for you to run. And I used to hate it, to be fair, because I was really fat. Even when I wasn't really fat, I still hated it. So I now like it, to be fair. It's like another thing that we can just go up and up and up, level up at, and it's quite enjoyable. Same for you, isn't it?
Literally exactly the same. Running, I used to hate it as well. I used to play a lot of football. Even then, when we went for runs, I'd hate it.
No, exactly. And we used to like box, do kickbox and stuff like that. Our cardio was always shit just because we hated running. So running's one thing. If you just want to go for the next one.
So for the next thing that I want to do is, so for gym was a massive part of my life in like 2022. I used to love gym. I used to be so consistent with it. Then 2023, when we started the business, I lost the sort of consistency and I lost the love for it as well. So my aim for next year is to sort of gain that love back, and the way I'm going to do that is by consistently going gym and consistently setting myself little targets. For example, improve on an exercise, increase the weight, do 1 more rep on an exercise, something like that. That's how I'm going to bring back my passion for gym. And yeah, that's what we hope to do. We hope to consistently go gym 4 times a week, every week for this year, unless there's something planned for that week. But for the most part, 4 times a week, every week, we will go gym.
Yes, it's spot on. Again, it goes in with the exercise goals. People that we know that are on 100k, that are on 200k a month, literally our friends, they exercise every single day. They make sure that they do, because it's really important, to be fair. Like, exercising does so much more for your brain that words can't really describe. It just unlocks it, basically, and optimizes it so much more. So you need to make sure you're exercising every single day, and we definitely will be as well. Of course, an intensity that we can manage. We're not going to overdo it. That's silly. What's the point exercising really hard for 30 days and then never exercising again? There is no point. Another thing I want to say is I want to make sure that I've got my vision board basically on my laptop. I want to make sure that I look at it at least twice a day, minimum. So as soon as I wake up, it's on my desk ready. So I go there and I look at it, just visualize, think about exactly what I want to achieve and how I'm going to achieve it. And in the night, just before I sleep, I want to look at my vision board. So twice a day, I want to look at that. So I guess like 700 times in the year.
Yeah. So I'm literally exactly the same. So I have my vision board as well. I read it every morning, every night. I have my affirmations as well, which I read, and I have my goals as well. So I have everything that I'm speaking, I have that written down as well. So every single day I'll remind myself of that, and I think that's very important for you guys to do as well. You need to remind yourself of your goals, or simple as you'll forget them. And when you forget them, you're not going to work for them. Another thing that we have to sort of stay on top of as well is posting. So I've made a goal, I'm sure he has as well. We both made the goal to post consistently on, whether that's 1 piece of content a day. So that's what I've had for the next year. I'm going to do that, whether that's a story, whether that's a post, whether that's a reel, whether that's a TikTok, anything like that. I'm going to post 1 piece of content a day. And also on YouTube, that's one thing that we're looking to grow in 2025. We literally started YouTube like a few days ago. And yeah, 2025, hopefully 1 video a week we're going to post. And we're looking to record right now 2 to 3 videos a week. And yeah, we look forward to being consistent with that. And yeah, it's exciting.
No, that's actually true, to be fair. Content's been a big goal of ours. We've always been like making content, just not really consistency. So I'm sure 2025 will be the year that we just have like, hundreds of pieces of content out there, just absolutely smashing it, providing free value. Because that's our goal really. And just for myself, I just want to make sure that we carry on celebrating the small wins, mostly, well, for 2 reasons. Firstly, because as we explained earlier, it's a good thing to do. Secondly, because I like celebrating. Why not go on more holidays? So I want to go on minimum 2 holidays this year. I want to go Anfield again, like I said earlier. I want to make sure that I go to see Liverpool. I want to go, just keep going, eating at nice places, experiencing nice things as a result of our business.
Pretty much. And we also look to help other people around us as well. That's one thing we look to do. We need to build stronger relationships with the people around us, and to continue giving them gifts and stuff like that. That's one thing we do really enjoy. And one thing that's quite personal to me as well is I'm looking to get my first car this year as well. So he's obviously already got a car, and because we live together, we literally have the same day. there's not been a reason for me to get a car, so I've not been able to justify it. I've wanted one for a while, but there's no reason to, like, I can't justify it to myself to actually buy one. But what I've done is I've made a certain goal in my head, and when I hit that goal, I'm just gonna get a car, no matter whatever the situation is. I'm gonna buy a car because it's something that I want to do, and I'm literally holding back for no reason at all. I also want to beat my bench press PR. That was a tongue twister, yeah. But in 2022, I hit 100 kg bench, and literally haven't gone up from there. I've never even tried. So hopefully, as long as I stay consistent and keep the correct inputs and just eat what I eat every single day, I will be hitting that. I'm not sure when in 2025, but in 2025 I will definitely be beating my bench press PR.
For me, that's the main ones that I want to share today.
Yeah, same for me. That's it.
Okay, so we hope you found some value from this video. We hope we understand how our goal setting sort of works and what we learned from this year. So at the end of the day, keep tuning into our videos because we're looking to deliver constant value. Don't forget to comment to let us know exactly what we can do better for you, because we are still new to the YouTube game and we can still definitely learn. And yeah, we wish you the best in 2025, man.
All the best.